Before this live stream begins, I would like to tell you that no cussing, no ear rape, no exposing people, no making drama, no making fights, and do not make copyrights. Otherwise, do not make some kind of offensive ones. Otherwise, only at 6 people only. You do, I will not on here. So that's it. So let's get started that stream, shall we? All right then. Right, hello there, everybody. You know my name, Petey and yes, and Sunday morning, isn't it? Yeah, today's April 14th, and the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. Yes, that's right. It's the anniversary of this, but we're not talk about that today. No, 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 no. Today we're going to talk about that we are now done under in Australia. Yes, we're going to talk about the Victorian Railways H class. They're only one of its kind, the heaviest steam locomotive ever built in Australia. Right now, let's invite some of my friends. Where's Plushy King and Chloe Clinkman?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Very good. And that's Gabriel. Good to
Gabriel's
see you again.
here.
Here.
All right. Today is the anniversary of the Titanic. Let's think. Right. Well, today we're going to talk about that we're on the Australia right now. That we're going to talk about the heaviest steam locomotive ever built. It's called H2, the class, the Victorian Railways H class 444.
Ooh, H class, huh? Still a little bit
H
Yeah,
heavy.
class?
yeah. It was made by the Victorian Railways. It was made in Australia. It's a 4 pilot wheels, 8 driving wheels, and 4 training wheels. So we know that today is a 484. It's called themselves Northerns. You see there because this engine is weighs too much. Why? It is the heaviest steam locomotive that ever built. Only one of the very rare class. It was built in Newport workshops. It was built in Newport Railway Workshops at Melbourne, Australia. You ever heard Melbourne?
No, I never tried that
Nope.
before.
Well, Melbourne is in Australia. It's a you know is that the how did they do that? Well, in 1923, A2 class 460 was dated back in 1907 was state double heading into Silverstone to and Albury. And Victorian Railways commissioners had recommended need more powerful locomotives. Although the S-Class 462 Pacifics had already displaced the A2s from the Northeast Express lines in 1928, but the section between Melbourne and Ballarat have sharply curved, Steep inclines emerged the notorious 10 miles in an instant bank. But as early 1923, VR locomotive designers were considered a foray to maritime type, but they decided to use it. So in 1936, the design office decided to build an 8484. Then we need a larger boiler. The aggressively constructed valve gear has ice cylinders. So in 1941, they considered to use streamlining similar to the S class, but the wartime economy saw that was already being abandoned. Two additional parts of the H class were named incompleted, while the wartime took the presence of express passenger, but had never been completed, leaving only one of its kind. So the engines was so the H220 was given an official nickname, and that one called the name Heavy Harry. Yeah, you know
Ooh.
what's Heavy
Heavy
Harry,
Harry?
eh? Yeah, that's the nickname, Heavy Harry. So yeah, Heavy Harry is the heaviest steam locomotive ever built. So yes, well uh. Heavy Harry is the largest locomotive you ever seen that, would you? Well, so the H220 is one of the heaviest steam locomotives I've ever built. Well, why they would do that? Well, my friend Alzar explains. Alzar, take it away, my friend.
Now, as some of you may know, the largest steam locomotives to ever run in Australia were the New South Wales AD60 Garrett locomotives from 1952. Sure, they may be the largest steam locomotives to ever run in the country, but they aren't the largest built there. You see, the AD60s were built by a company called Bayard Peacock and Company, which was founded in Manchester, England. This is because the railway these Garants ran on was licensed to build their own Garant, and if they tried, they would have gotten into some serious legal trouble. And this is due to the license for these Garants being owned by Bayard Peacock themselves, as they were the ones who built the very first Garrett locomotive, which, funny enough, ran in Australia. Now, this begs the question, what was the largest steam locomotive to be built in the country? Well, I might just have the answer, and I definitely know some people might know what I'll be talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Australia's largest homegrown steam locomotive, Heavy Harry.
Thank you very
Ooh.
much, Althar. Thank you very much, Althar. Because this engine was built in Australia. But the question is, why does Heavy what does Heavy Harry do, Althar?
Or Heavy Harry, as it was nicknamed, was built in 1941 by the Victorian Railways at their Newport workshops as a 484 passenger locomotive. He weighed at about 260 tons, had a length of 28.19 meters, and a tractive effort of 55,000 pounds force. He was also given Walschaerts valve gear on the outside cylinders, while having the Henshill and Son conjoint valve gear on the middle inside cylinder. Harry was meant to be used as motive power for the Overland Express services in Ballarat, Victoria, to replace the already aging A2 class locomotives already in use. But due to several bridges on the route being too weak to take the big engine's weight, it was allocated to freight duties on the North East Railway line.
Right, Althar. It was allocated to the Northeastern Railway line. Sadly, though, because it has very close to the south. You even no, because the H220s is the south. You can see. Although the H220 is one of the biggest engines in the world, isn't it? Well, and also, here's some footage of real Heavy Harry in action. There's the real Heavy Harry. The main point here on passenger duties.
This is a rare footage of the Heavy Harry.
Of course it is. Even so, they were the heaviest locomotives you can see there. The is H is 220. H220 they will use it. You think it was all being streamlined? But no. They were abandoned because World War II happened. After the war, he was being
Why?
allocated to
Why they were abandoned?
because due to the wartime economies, so they abandoned it. So they use the H220, but they use still passengers. Yes, the regular passenger use to replace the H and A2s that's in existence. You see,
I see it.
well, notice that you think there's some kangaroos blocking the way or not.
Oh yeah, kangaroos is popular in Australia.
Mm-hmm. So the H220s are just yes, because me, yes. Oh,
Yes.
oh wait, yes, but I think there's another H220 right. I think there's another footage of H220 right here, because yes, there's the H. No, it's not an H. That's Heavy Harry. There it is.
Here it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because H220 is a cell. And I think the H220 is a cell. I mean, yeah. Even so, H220s have already replaced the S classes, even the A2 classes while doing express passenger duties. But sadly, he was being lasted for 15 years of active service. Even after the war, the upgrades for an outright for the H class were not made. As early as 1950s, diesel and electric was under consideration. Although the diesels in locomotives of the early 50s have made two new B-class diesel electrics have already been established on this high bank. In 44 minutes, the A2's locomotives will hung a 69 long-ton train in 67 minutes. The H220 continued until its withdrawal in 1956, and by that time the C and X classes heavy goods locomotives were being withdrawn from service and scrapped, and being redundant by the B class and the L class electrics. The H220 was being stored and never restored and never been returned to service. It was written the locomotive register on April 30th, 1958. Happily, though, H220 survived. Until 1960, the Australian Railway Historical Society has been successful establishment for the Railway Museum, and H220 has become itself almost on the star exhibit. In April 2008, 50 years after its withdrawal, the Victorian Railway says that noted the representatives locomotive technology and warrant the highest level of protection. And in 2020, a new route was announced by local MP Horn in May 2019. It was built over H20 exhibitors to protect them from the weather. Yes, yes. Happily, this engine still exists to this day. H220, as you can see there, still exists to this day in real life. Pretty cool, isn't it? Yes. I think that the H220 is a very good locomotive. But still strong, but still in static display. But some white people would say if this locomotive could be restored, it will be steam again. I hopefully will, in some here in the near future or something. Well, that's it. We already talked about these locomotives. So we already talked about this one. So next week we're going to talk about, yes, we're going back ourselves back to Britain, everyone. We're going back to Britain. We're going to talk about, yes, the LMS Iver class force 260 goods locomotives. So we already talked about it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure comment, rate, like, share, and subscribe. Remember, keep on steaming. We'll see you on again next live stream.